Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Magarelli from CNY, Colorado. Everybody say hi as you come on board. I am streaming also from the Instagram side of things. So hopefully you guys, I'll be able to more and more get you as part of the group here. So this week, of course, is Q&A. Everything is about Q&A here. So hopefully you guys will jump on. Is anybody out there there's Vanessa. Hey, Vanessa, good to see you. Thank you for saying hi. Sometimes I don't know if anybody. Oh, Amber, good to see you, my dear. Always good to see you. Thank you, thank you. Glad you're on board. God, it's kind of a cloudy day here in Colorado Springs. Hey, Faith, nice to see you. Caitlin, Sage, Kirsten, Puffer. Oh my God! What do you mean? You better be in the Springs, Caitlin, and come see me. Just come see me. Ask for me. I want to see you. Hi, Brown, Michaela, and Melissa. Sherman, does breastfeeding in an 18-month-old an issue to start IVF? Yes. You need about 2 months of weaning and then jump right in. Hey, Tiffany, Abby, Jessica, Amber, again, monitoring tomorrow. Hope to have an egg retrieval Saturday. Okay, you're going to make me work Saturday. That's good. Hey, Brittany, I'll see you soon. Quiana, I have a question. What is 2 month, 3 day? What is a 2M 3 day embryo? 2M. I don't know what a 2M is. 2M. Don't know what the M stands for. Sorry. Terry, hello. Marisol, good to see you. Olga, on my way to CNY New York. Well, you are on your way. Oh, you're going to bring more cupcakes? Those cupcakes were crazy good. Those cupcakes were crazy good. Not an M. An M is not a grade that I know of. Yeah, I don't know what an M is. Hey, Mimi, I miss you too. I have my first embryo transfer, Leah. How about just make a baby, Leah? Sarah, good to see you. Amanda, one of my 16-month-old is trying to give you a drink of his water. Okay. Well, I'll take a little bit of drink right here. Okay. Hi, Amanda. So this is Dr. Magarelli, CNY Fertility, Colorado. As I was saying, it's a little cloudy day, but we're happy to be here. So Melissa, I couldn't get an answer from the travel team that told me. Okay, don't know what that is. Oh, the sticky baby dust. Yes. Dana, hello, Dana. Good to see you. Welcome aboard, everybody. We got lots of people here. Let me just do a couple of good announcements. We are finally, by May 1st, which is only 2 weeks away, right? Oh, no. Yeah, it's about 2 weeks away. In the past, we've not been able to have the men in with the transfers. So we now have set up 1, 2, 3, 4 rooms, which will allow the gentlemen to join us in the wonderful embryo transfer process, which we really, really like you guys to be there. We've been doing like video and we've been doing recording, but now we've set up 4 rooms thanks to the wonderful folks at CNY Syracuse who gave us the transport tubes, which are an amazing invention from Dr. Kiltz. And we've now tested the system out, so we should be able to start May 1st just as a starting date because we have a few more things to work out, but thankfully we'll be able to have the guy in there. Okay, and so tonight, so that's one announcement. So tonight is just a question and answer. Lots of questions, lots of answers, and I'm going to have some questions for you. We're seeing a huge uptick in the Zymot testing, and yet as I talk to you guys on my All Things Mail, I'm not sure there's a lot there. So maybe you guys, I don't know whether it's on the internet or something, but not a lot of data there. Okay, so Melissa, breastfeeding, but my OB isn't very familiar with the IVF procedures to ask my OB. Well, no, the idea, Melissa, is depending on what procedures the IVF procedure. Well, we do not want those hormones and chemicals and compounds and antibiotics and everything to pass to the baby. So, of course, you can stockpile the milk before the procedure, and then after the procedure, you could, depending on how you're going to do this, but that's the reason we want to do it. Alyssa, thank you. Yeah, we've been working it's been a lot of logistical nightmare with COVID to try to get the husbands in the way our rooms, because our rooms are separated as operating suites. So again, starting May 1st, we're on our way. Okay, Caleb, I think my transfer will be the 29th to 30th. Will my husband be able to be in the room? Not if it's not May 1st. That's my whole point. We'll be ready by May 1st. So that's what I don't want to do is if we're not be ready. And we've been working on this, so May 1st. So sorry, Caleb. Okay, Brown. I'm 51. I've been wanting to do IVF, but now I'm having menopause. Can I still get pregnant? Well, yes, probably donor egg, but we're certainly happy to test your AMH. Pricing is all on the internet. Go to CNY Fertility. And also an egg donor. So would I have to take meds? Yes, because you're going to want to carry the baby. Brittany, is it okay to start IVF right after miscarriage? Well, you should wait about 4 weeks, have a period, then the next one. How long do you wait for one more try if my cycle was canceled? Absolutely jump immediately into it, Faith. You want to do the next cycle. That's called back-to-back IVF. I'm very much a strong supporter of that. Abigail Rose, not sure what kind of question you're answering, but my husband and I really want to use donor embryos. How tough is that route? Abigail, how tough is that route? Very tough. It's hard to find donor embryos, but you know, there's Nightlight, there's Embryo, it's an embryo, there's another embryo organization. It can be tough. Just have my transfer with you. Yeah, good. Waiting for my labs tomorrow. Michaela, make a baby. Everybody wish her luck to Michaela. Cassandra, hello. How soon should you start the process with CRY when trying to conceive a same-sex couple? Conceive a same-sex couple. Oh, how soon should you start the process with CRY when you're trying to conceive as a same-sex couple? I couldn't figure out what you were saying there. So there's no same-sex couple has nothing to do with it. Just tell us the time and we'll get started. What exactly is a missed pregnancy? My doctor informed me that I experienced this. I have PCOS. It just means that the pregnancy test was positive and then it went negative and we don't know, we didn't see a pregnancy. How many donor eggs should we have? Well, I think 6 for 6. If the donor is less than 30, is probably enough to get a pregnancy and possibly a baby. Thank you. Good luck, everybody. Okay, wait a second. Oh, Natalie is saying, Natalie is telling Abigail that she'll donate her F. Oh, that's wonderful. So you guys hook up, okay? You guys hook up, be friends with each other somewhere on the intranet, as they say. Hi, Grace. Oh, there she is. Hey, Grace, how are you? Michael, good to see you. And let's, we could set up a quick consult with me, Grace, so we can follow up on our conversation, okay? So again, you guys, I wonder about, why this Zymot thing is now in the news. It's just the data is not there, so I'm not, I'm trying to figure out why folks actually think it helps, especially with IVF and ICSI. So anyway, just think about it. I have PCOS, endometriosis, and adenomyosis. Which wash do I do, if any, for transfer? Well, Alexandra, I'm not sure you're going to have any problems with the growth of the lining, which the PRP can help, but the HCG wash can prime the receptors, we believe, to enhance that receptivity. So I would go with an HCG wash. Actually, Sarah Elizabeth, why don't they give embryo updates? Whoa, that disappeared. That was too much. Okay, I'm trying so hard to keep positive. Turning 41, low AMH, has glutination. I have medicated Hashimoto'S. Started my Omnitrope. I'm going to start. Okay, too much, guys. Also doing it. What are the chances that this will work first time? Because, okay, 41. Let's just talk about chances of succeeding. So, in IVF in the United States, it takes an average of 2 to 3 tries with basic IVF for a 20-year-old to achieve a pregnancy. And at a 30-year-old, you'd expect it to be 3 or 4. And a 40-year-old, you expect it to be 4 or 5, just based on 250,000 IVF cycles in the United States, which is also based on your biology. So those are the statistics. And we're a pretty good country. We do IVF pretty well. So So that's the statistic, but your statistic is either 0 or 100%. Remember, statistics for populations, but for you, you're either going to be pregnant or not. Okay, and so what I would recommend is go into it with, I'm going to be successful, and but be realistic. If you use a donor, why is it that there is no guarantee? Well, that's a financial question, Carrie. I don't know the answer to that. Leah, how many vials of donor sperm is used for an egg retrieval? Usually one. Is it good to get a sonohystogram before my transfer? Yes. Olga, you want to know whether or not the inside of your uterus is normal. Now, typically, if it's done by a reproductive endocrinologist, we feel like you don't have to do it for 6 months. Okay, can you talk about the benefits of Omnitrope for priming? So slow down on the question. So what is the benefit for Omnitrope? Now, Omnitrope is just growth hormone, and it's the only studied adjunct add-on to IVF that has helped poor responders. That's where the data are. It has helped poor responders. At CNY, if it helps poor responders, we're happy to offer it to good responders. But the data are for poor responders that you may get an improved outcome. So when you, especially if you have a low ovarian reserve, again, if you could slow down on the questions, I'll tell you what, I'm going to answer this question and I may miss yours because a lot of the questions are coming in. So with growth hormone, the goal there is to activate the insulin-like growth factors, the intra-ovarian growth factors, the intrauterine growth factors, the factors that are responsible for those changes that get the ovaries ready to recruit, get the ovaries ready to grow, follicles ready to grow in the ovaries. And so that's really the role. But again, it was the data are for poor responders. So a lot of folks who don't respond as well as they like ask for growth hormone because they hope it helps. And I totally get it. And if we see a young person, which means less than 35, seeing a kind of a poor response, we feel that the mechanism should be the same. So that's how it is. Okay, so now how important is having a trilamina? This is Amber, versus a homogeneous lining. Well, it depends on where you are. You should have a trilamina lining prior to the start of progesterone, and then you should have a homogeneous or a mildly trilamina lining when you get to the transfer. So before the start of progesterone, it should be trilamina. And then during the reason we're giving progesterone is to consolidate, condense the lining to be ready so you tend to get homogeneous on the ultrasound. If my first round was successful but ended in a stillbirth during, I'm sorry, not enough words there. I have heard of doing IUI with a FET in the same cycle. I don't think that makes any sense. I would not want to disturb the lining. That doesn't make any sense because you're not ovulating. It doesn't even make sense. Yeah, the only reason to do an IUI is if you're ovulating. So doing it with an FET doesn't make any sense. How long does it take to hear from the travel team to get a medication list? I don't know. Why don't they give updates until day 7? Because we cannot, we can only give you an update. Oh, you mean why do we grow to day 7? Okay, well, embryos right now in the United States, pretty much day 5, day 6, and sometimes day 7, but we grow them that length of time. In Britain now, they're looking at growing them to 14 days. Crazy. First round was successful, but ended in a stillbirth due to placenta abruption. What's the chance for a second round ending in a placenta abruption? That is an OBGYN question. I would ask them. That's not something I follow. So does Omnitrope help with egg quality or just poor response to stim? Actually, Christy, we believe, and my understanding is that relationship of intra-ovarian regulators and growth factors within the follicle do add to egg quality as well as a response to stimulations. Would you recommend immune protocol for Hashimoto's? No, the immune protocol, what I recommend for Hashimoto's is some form of thyroid medication. There are immune protocols for 5 miscarriages, but I think you're relating them to the Hashimoto's, and they may not be. Abby, you should have a full workup. Kenya, what progesterone treatment is beneficial for a woman with PCOS that just had a missed pregnancy? Those are not related. Progesterone, if you're doing an IUI, you can do oral, you can do vaginal. For IVF, we tend to do injection and vaginal. If I'm homogeneous this whole cycle, would you suggest against a fresh transfer? Yes, Amber, I would. Again, I don't know who's labeling it homogeneous, or you or the ultrasonographer, because if it's a concern, usually they'll bring it to the doctor and we may want to adjust something. So bring it to the doctor's attention. How long do you recommend waiting for trying after ectopic pregnancy? Well, I think the 3-month window is a good idea because of trauma and a variety of other things. I would say the 3-month is at the outset. Has anyone released data about growing embryos to after day 14? Nope. Hello, husband is 45, vasectomy 23 years ago. The sperm quality decline after vasectomy. Sperm quality declines by aging. Men will lose up to 50% of the potency of their sperm between the ages of 20 and 40, whether or not they've had a vasectomy. Now, the problem with the vasectomy is that you also create anti-sperm antibodies. So that becomes a problem because that's the only way to keep the testicles from growing to the size of a basketball is if the body, because you can't get the sperm out of the body and you're making 1,000 sperm per heartbeat. So the way the body deals with that is it actually attacks the sperm. So that's why when people do a vasectomy reversal, yeah, they have sperm, so the urologist is happy, but in reality, the sperm themselves don't function or function very poorly because of the anti-sperm antibodies. So folks who are thinking about getting a vasectomy reversal, think about the age of the female. Okay, that's critical. Over 35, IVF, for sure. Don't get a vasectomy reversal, get a TISA, we're off and running. Pretty Nurse Shaki, what chances of becoming pregnant second round if you did first round? There's no way to tell. You need the age, you need the FSH, AMH, you need to know how many eggs, how many embryos. Hey, Jessica, good to see you. What are the steps to take if you would like to transfer an abnormal embryo? Well, folks, if you transfer an abnormal embryo, the first thing is signing a 15-page document which says you understand that there's risk to the pregnancy, risk to having a baby born with chromosomal abnormalities, which is a lifetime sentence. Then you basically you just simply sign the forms. You may have to get them notarized. I'm not 100% sure. But they're yours, they're your embryos. And remember, for many, many years, we routinely transferred abnormal embryos, but we didn't know because we didn't have PGTA. So we were doing that 50% of the time at least, but we simply didn't know. Now that we know, it's some folks make it a big deal. We do not make it a big deal. My husband was wondering if it's possible to do genetic testing for autism. No. His most recent semen analysis had 1% morphology. How long will it take to see a rise? It will not, Anna. He quit smoking and drinking 100% and he started on recommended supplements. Should we test again before an egg retrieval? No. The key thing about the morphology is that it's an indicator that sex is not going to work very efficiently. The second thing, it's not because he smoked or drank, but the smoking and the drinking will reduce the potency of all of his sperm, so that's a fantastic thing. The supplements, the zinc, the selenium, the CoQ10, the folic acid, by the way, I'm working really hard. I think next week we're going to do part 2 of supplements, and it's huge. So bear in mind that. But yeah, so you can move on. As long as he stops smoking, you can move on to okay. Dr. Mag, I had retrieval 3-ish weeks ago, and now scheduled for FET on Friday. My ovaries are still large, but my estrogen levels are good and came back down. Oopsie, I lost that one. Came back down. Let's see, where did it go? Large ovary pose any risk for a successful FET? Not as long as it's not hormonally active, But, you know, if it's huge, of course, then there could be a chance that it may have a problem with the pregnancy, but not typically with an embryo transfer. How long should you track ovulation before starting IUI? Never. Just start IUI. There's no requirement to track ovulation. Because with IUI, you will get ovulatory medicine. Lydia, hey, this is my first transfer. I'm 35, 2 losses, 1 ectopic in the past 2 years. I've had 18-year-old twins. Wow. Will they let me transfer 2 embryos? Lydia, you are 35. I don't know who they are. Who are they? Okay. If you're talking about CNY fertility, they'll talk to you about the risks, the benefits. Whoops, I guess I'm really behind here. And then you talk to the doctor. I want to start IVF this month, but my cycle is over 39 days late. So what you should do is get a pregnancy test, get a progesterone. This is Denisha. Get a progesterone shot, have a bleed, and then you're off and running. Abby Owen, this is my worry, my A. Okay. Is there anything that can be done to improve male factor? Absolutely. Avoiding alcohol, tobacco, street drugs, marijuana, taking the supplements. You can find them on our website. On a website, you can do acupuncture for the male. You can do the keto for the male. And so, as Jessica's mentioning, we'll be happy to prescribe it. Ganameti. 2 weeks ago, I did IVF, and Saturday I did blood tests. Is negative. I don't understand why is negative. My period missed today. My period is missed today, day 5. Oh, you're wondering why you're not bleeding? Well, get an ultrasound. Let's see what's going on. Get a repeat pregnancy test. Don't trust just one. Oh, CNY fertility. Yeah, but we have 5 facilities, or 6 facilities, maybe 7 facilities. The bottom line is talk with your doctor, okay? You should have planned that before. If you're still taking the meds, those can prevent your period. Amber, that's exactly right. So you should contact our office, Ganamete. Contact the office, and they'll tell you what to do. Everybody's helping everybody. Thank you. Clomid, yes, thank you, Brandy. You can take, thank you, yes. Clomid is a estrogen receptor blocker, and it actually helps men improve as well as letrozole. That's right, thank you. All righty. My fiance loves the sauna. If he stops going to the sauna a week before the retrieval, would that affect anything? Stops or starts. So it takes 3 months for the sperm from the testicles to reach the ejaculate. So you'd probably want to do 3 months of stopping, not just a week before. If you were doing IVF, can we have 2 embryos put in if we want to try for twins? No place in the United States can we try for twins. That's against all the rules and regulations of our field. Do twins happen? Absolutely, twins happen, but the goal is 1 healthy baby at a time. So what do I need to get started? Whom may I talk to? I don't know. I'm in Colorado Springs, but all you have to do is set it up. By the way, folks, any of you who are not patients, go to our website, cnyfertility.com. There's 800 numbers there, ways to get in touch with us. Download the family building guide. It's free. You don't have to be our patients. There's all sorts of resources, huge amount of resources on our webpage. So go start there, Brown Michaela. Christy, I took my period about 5 days ago to show up after stopping transfer meds. Thank you. That's right. So you have to stop the progesterone, Ganamete, or else you're going to not bleed. Can you have alcohol before an egg retrieval, or can you, boy, there's a bunch of things going by. Sorry. I have trilamina on baseline, second day 4. Will it stay that way? Well, no, it has to respond to estrogen. So do that. Dana, consult with me. Cool. Samantha, okay, now if we have failed IVF before we have another transfer, do we have to pay off everything? Again, financial questions I know nothing about. Call our 800 number. You're welcome, Brown. There you go. Thank you, Jessica. You're wonderful. Sheanne, Marie, hoping to come to Colorado to see you guys. Great. How long after laparoscopy to remove endometriosis can I start IVF? How long do I have to wait for transfer? Okay, yeah, a couple of months. What is the best protocol for receptivity with premature ovarian failure? with amenorrhea? Well, the best protocol is the one we use, which is estrogen vaginally and orally, progesterone injections and vaginally. Yvonne, are you allowed to have alcohol before or during? Again, healthy body, Yvonne, everyone. Healthy body is a fertile body. Alcohol, tobacco, street drugs, marijuana, these are all things that are toxins. That's why we like them so much. There's nothing right or wrong with them, but if you're trying for one healthy baby, a healthy body is a fertile body. So we can't make healthy eggs and sperm, only you guys can. So the more you avoid this stuff during this process, the better. Kelly, I'm curious about progesterone. OB put you on 100 milligrams daily for months and months now due to deficiency and sleep issues, but still get a period. Okay, I am confused with the question. So I'm lost on why I'm on it. It wouldn't hold off a period, yet doctors say to stop. I can't say what I'm sorry, I'm not getting it, Kelly. What would you suggest? When would you suggest Lovenox as part of a transfer protocol? When? Well, it's just part of the protocol for some folks. Again, usually Lovenox and baby aspirin, to be frank with you, is for recurrent pregnancy loss. Now, we at CNY Fertility, we tend to be a little more liberal because people have losses, but in reality, the data are really strong for its, and I shouldn't say the data are strong. I should say that there is data that suggests that Lovenox, which is like a heparin product, and baby aspirin, if you've had 2 or more miscarriages, might help you reduce the chance for another miscarriage. So that's what it's for. Now, everybody wants to be on everything. And this is another thing that I notice is my girlfriend's on this. Why am I not? Because you're not your girlfriend. So it's not one size fits all. I was told to stop drinking smoothies because they're cold. Is this accurate? I drink them daily. I don't know who told you. You'll have to ask that person. Queen Smith, it depends on, okay. All righty. Clomid can help your count, motility, and morphology for many. It will depend on your husband's underlying condition. You guys are great. I don't even know why I do this anymore. You guys can answer your own questions. You're great at this. Good. Okay. I was prescribed Lovenox for recurrent pregnancy loss, but started bleeding internally after ovarian cyst burst and needed emergency surgery. See, again, thank you, Abby. You're telling us exactly that Lovenox is not for everyone. I would not do the Lovenox. Now, if it's a frozen embryo transfer, then you're not going to have a ruptured cyst. You may be able to do it if it's a frozen embryo transfer. Yes, Patrice, definitely go online to CNY Fertility, download our family building guide, and get those. And we also are working very hard on supplements. So we've also created some. There's excellent ones on the markets. Kimberly, what are CNY's BMI requirements? None. Artist. Should my partner and I try reciprocal IVF? We want to use her eggs. She is 44. There's no shoulds. If that's what you want, that's what you want. Do I need medication to help with ovulation if I have a regular menstrual cycle? Well, yeah, that Delarian Anderson Patton. Yeah, you want to use the medicine to time things. Can chronic kidney disease impact sperm quality? Actually, yeah, or sperm function, yes. 4 years unexplained infertility, 5 rounds of Clomid. Would IVF make more sense? Yes, Mackenzie. If in a perimenopause phase, would you take a chance on IVF with OE? Not 100%, sorry. Thank you, of course, Patrice. Thank you. What is the oldest patient you have worked with that used their own eggs successfully? Probably 44. Have you worked with a 44-year-old that used their own eggs? Yes. My antral count is 14. Nice. What are my chances of a good embryo? Thanks. Much appreciated. Good or bad, you're going to make embryos, and that's going to be dependent on the sperm and the egg. It's not just the egg. The chance for a egg to be normal is less than 10%, but that doesn't mean you won't be that 10%. Amber, our pleasure. What are your thoughts on day 6 and 7 frozen embryos compared to day 5? They're fine, Claudine, because the key thing is our clocks start at different times. We just want to have good, nice blastocysts to transfer, and sometimes it's late night on the 5th day or early morning on the 6th day or late. Again, don't compare. If you have an embryo, do it. If you want to come to Tiala, if you want to come to Colorado, yes, just say you want to come to Colorado. Conflicted about fresh or frozen 41 AMH 1.5, yes, fresh. We've talked a lot about fresh or frozen. The best place for an embryo is inside your uterus. Now, the reason you do frozen embryo transfers typically are for issues related to excess amount of eggs or PCOS, own eggs. So Elizabeth, you'll have to recycle. Okay, your question. That's right, Sylvana. As long as we have eggs, we have a chance. Absolutely, just absolutely. My pleasure, Claudine. February retrieval yielded all grade A eggs, embryos. In March, all CCs. I don't grade. The grading has never been shown to make a hill of beans difference. Everybody asks about the grades. I keep telling people, every study that since we invented the PGTA for embryos has found that you can't use grading. So there. Christy, my pleasure. Amber, thank you. All right, let me take a quick swig. I've been talking for a half hour straight here. Just give me a moment. Whoopsie. Hold on a second, guys. My Instagram thing went away. I didn't mean that. Sorry about that. I mean, good. I'm glad nobody goes, don't go on Instagram anymore, because honestly, everything we're doing here is going to be on Facebook and YouTube. So yeah, looks like I'm not actually working here. So I'm going to get out of there. There you go. And now, okay. Cancel share. Okay, I'm just going to get out of here. Sorry. Okay, where are we? Is the cost of genetic testing on CNY's website, or does it depend on the lab? Cassandra, it depends on the lab. Yes, that's a SodaStream model. I live, eat, and drink soda. I mean, SodaStream, I have about 20 bottles. I love them. So yes, the genetic testing. What is the favorite part of my job? Thank you for asking. The favorite part of my job is when I have the ability to communicate to somebody hope, who don't feel like they have hope. That's actually the favorite, and to use my 44 years of education and figure out a way to help a couple achieve a family. Technically, of course, I like retrievals, transfers. I mean, those are technically fun. I like my staff, the being able to motivate young people to do great things. So, and I love meeting the people that I meet. And I feel very blessed that you allow me into your family, and you allow me into the intimate parts of your family. And yeah, if I can instill hope in someone, that's probably the favorite part of, my job. Amber, you love my staff. Well, we love you too, Amber. I plan to do house monitoring, stay at a hotel for the duration of the retrieval. How long would it be? About 2.5 weeks. About 2.5 weeks if you're doing everything in one place. I need to have a baby family. Okay. How should I prepare for a fresh transfer? Avoid alcohol, tobacco, street drugs. Do acupuncture. Get on the keto diet. Kills is keto. Reduce, any of your white breads, white sugars, that kind of stuff. And thank you, Jessica. She is so amazing. Jessica is just absolutely amazing. So she's giving you a lot of information about PGTA charges. And so there you have it. How do I get a consultation with me? Just call the 800 number and say, I'd like to have a consultation with Dr. Magarelli. Should be that simple. Now, yeah, please do that. Also, Amy Vance is in my office, and Dr. Randy Fink, he'll be here Monday. And he's, by the way, everybody, Dr. Fink signed the contract. So starting May 3rd, I think, we're going to have another full-time doc. And so there'll be 2 full-time docs. We're so proud of everybody. We have such an amazing team. And so that's going to help. Anyway, How many embryos out of 5 on day 3 usually make it to day 5? Probably 40%. So that would be yeah, about 40%. And yes, my goal is to provide you guys with the belief that nature demands that you get pregnant. You weren't available for consults right now. Amber, what do you mean I'm not available? I do probably 40 consults, maybe a specific day because I'm booked, but no, not available for consults. Yeah, please give me some details on that. I am available I do consults all the time. Now, granted, I'm getting so busy with retrievals and transfers, so it may well be that's the reason, because I'm basically, as I say, sucking eggs and putting embryos back. Okay. How long does PGT testing take? Now, Sarah, here's what I'm going to tell you, and everybody's going to fight about it. Give us 2 weeks for the results to come back. Just give us 2 weeks. No, give us 3 weeks. 3 weeks for the results to come back. It could be sooner, but I hate people to be disappointed. So I always tell folks we'll hear within a month. Next month, I'll transfer my normal embryo to almost 37. What's the chance of success? I have a 9-year-old daughter. Great. Thank you. That's very helpful. Well, normal, that means PGTA. That's probably 35 to 40% if you're transferring one. Okay. Maybe it was because of time difference between negative beta and B cycle day 1. You're a popular man. Yeah, I know. I'm doing a lot. Who is doing my retrieval tomorrow at Colorado CNY, Mandy? It is going to be me. I'm sorry. I'm the only guy there tomorrow to do retrievals, so you're going to have to be stuck with me, Mandy. Make sure you say hi and that you talked to me last night with a smiley face. I like smiley face. Sarah, all right. Hope for someone with multiple fibroids. Yes. Suine, Olufini, Oliani, absolutely. You just have to have a normal uterine cavity. And here's something else, Suine. Being a mom may well be for you, and again, I don't know, may well be through a gestational carrier or surrogate. That ain't bad. If my husband has 1% morphology, can they be improved? Now, again, Ashley, the issue is morphology is more or less genetic, okay? That means that's how he was born, his height, hair color, his morphology. But the function of that sperm is dependent on a healthy body, fertile body. So yes, take the vitamins, absolutely, but it's not just the morphology, it's all of them that need the help. How many days after starting estrogen do you get to have a frozen embryo transfer? It's approximately 17 days, but it's going to depend on how your body responds. I'm pumped too, Mandy. Just make sure you say hi. Should I up my doses if I end up having to do another retrieval? Did 300, retrieved 7 eggs, and all 7 were mature. Well, that's perfect. We could, but let's talk to your doctor. Okay. Yes, Dr. Diane Credenda and Dr. Stephanie King from East Winds Acupuncture. They're in Colorado Springs, and they do the Credenda Magarelli Acupuncture Protocol. And I haven't done a shout out in a long time. Anywhere you live, go to the CNY fertility website and look up the acupuncturist there. And if you're local to one of our healing art centers, go. If not, then go to the website www.aborm.org, and then you can put in your address, and then you can see if someone is close to you. Finally, if you can't get access to anyone close to you, or you have an acupuncturist who doesn't have experience, they can certainly call and connect with Dr. Diane Credenda at eastwindsacupuncture.com, and she will be happy to give the information to your acupuncturist. We love working with acupuncturists from all over the place. Amber, does the COVID vaccine have interference with the transfer process? We'd like you to wait a month, okay? Thank you, Jessica. We'd like you to wait a month after you've done your vaccine. And the reason is we're going to give you immune modulators, and we want you to have a really good immune response. So let your body have a really good immune response. Ashley, you want healthy sperm shape, concentration, as well as swimming ability. So you want it all, okay? You definitely want it all, okay? Let's see. Me too. All right. Embryology told me today I have 4 good embryos. Is it possible for all good embryos to make it to blast? So you have 8 cells times 2, 3, 7, 8. I can't understand. I don't even know what good embryos mean by that. But yes, it's always possible. When do you start Lovenox? Somebody help her when she starts Lovenox. She's on stim day 5. Lovenox is really for the transfer. So if you guys out there want to tell her, that would be great. Why is acupuncture important after embryo transfer, Olga? It's because it's geared, because remember, the Chinese didn't have IVF. It's geared to holding on to a pregnancy and reduces the risk for miscarriage. Amy Jen says, if I could work from home. Okay, Denver to the Springs is a long drive. Don't know. Did you say a PGT normal embryo has 30% chance of success? Yes. No. Each embryo. So the human potential for an embryo is about 44%. But again, there's a little bit of age associated with that. So when you're looking at statistics, you have to look at the broad picture. But remember, you can't be 44% pregnancy. It's either 0 or 100. Okay, going by really fast. There you go. Cycle day 6 of transfer cycle. That's what I thought, Amanda. It's Lovenox is when you start it. Okay. What are the chances of pregnancy on the first cycle with a grade 4 embryo? Well, D, it has to do with your age. Again, I don't worry about grades. If you're in your 20s, it's about a 30% chance. In your 30s, it's about a 20% chance. In your 40s, about a 10% chance. I have, Devon, I have a septate uterus. You have to get that fixed or else you're going to increase your risk for miscarriage or even no pregnancy. Do you do many successful mini IVFs, Sylvana? Yes, we see a lot of low ovarian reserve folks. So we do a lot of mini IVF. And again, mini means less egg, less medicine, less egg, less embryos. So we save you money. It doesn't improve the quality. How many egg retrievals do you think will be needed for a 44-year-old? Probably 3. Good, fresh transfer. I believe it when you start stims. Well, Marlena, thank you for saying that. But again, I think the Lovenox is really geared, yeah, especially if you're doing a fresh transfer, right? Thank you. Yeah, you're doing a fresh transfer. My husband has low sperm count and abnormal sperm. He's on several meds for non-epileptic seizures. What can he do to help with his sperm? Well, healthy body, fertile body, like everybody else. Find out if his medications are having a negative effect on his sperm. Ask his neurologist, and maybe they can switch the medicines. On average, how many IVF cycles does it take a 30-year-old? Approximately 3. Pricing-wise, Sylvana, you'll have to contact financial. How many egg retrievals for 29, almost 30? Again, 3, same. Well, 2.8, but nobody can do a 0.8 cycles. By the way, that's true for everyone in the nation, no matter who you go to, just so you know. That's based on 250,000 IVF cycles that are done every year in the United States, and I'm just counting the last 10 years. It takes approximately 2.8 cycles to make a baby. That's why CNY is so amazing. Our fees are so low that one typical IVF cycle is equivalent to at least 3 basic IVF cycles at CNY Fertility. And that's how we designed it, because we know that most folks take more than one try. And yet the average IVF cost is around $15,000 to $18,000. So we started, I think Jessica just threw it out there, thank you, about $4,000, because we know it takes more than one try. Brandy, is it the same process, so it costs the same amount through CNY? The only mini thing is less meds, and it really does not save that much. That is true. It's just less meds. That's it. That's all mini means. I did my vaccine last Thursday, and transfer will be in late May. Perfect. Why don't you hold off on the prednisone and low-dose naltrexone until you're closer, okay? I would at this point. We don't want to affect your immune response. Can you do another retrieval while remaining embryos are on ice? Absolutely, Amber. We want you to stockpile, everybody, stockpile your embryos. That's what that is. That's the baby. Uteri don't age. We've had people pregnant after age 74. So we don't worry about the age of the uterus, but we definitely worry about the age of the embryos. So anything you can do to improve the number of embryos in the bank, good idea. I have 2 embryos and supposed to be transferring. Is it advisable to transfer all 2? Mercy. I don't know how young you are, but we kind of always recommend 1 embryo if you're in your 20s, and maybe 2 if you're over 35 if they're untested. The antihistamine you can start at any time, Lisa. What helps us have more eggs? Unfortunately, nothing helps us have more because it's genetically determined by your mom's X chromosome and your dad's X chromosome. But the availability of the eggs you do have are helped with acupuncture, we believe, because of blood flow. What are the male factor supplements that work? Well, just go to CNY Fertility, download our family building guide. They're all listed there. There is a male factor supplement on the molecular fertility area there. You did my consult, just wanted to thank you. Lisa, my pleasure. It is my pleasure. I think is there a picture of you holding a beautiful baby? Well, let's get you another one. PM me anytime, hon. Okay, sorry. Okay. I have 1 frozen embryo, but I'm another one now, back to back, hopefully get more. That's exactly right. That's what you're doing, is you're storing them. What dosage do you consider mini? Like Gonalef is 200 international units or less. Okay, 200 international units or less. And look at you go, girl. Jessica, you're amazing. Where's Dr. Banerjee? He usually jumps on. I know that my daughter can't jump on because she's learning something tonight, she told me. So I guess he's being a bum. He's not jumping on tonight. I don't see any of my nurses either. I guess I worked them too hard. We've been working amazing. And I know, by the way, I'll apologize now. It is getting so busy, so I wish we could say we're on time, but it's just amazing. And I know other people are mad because they have to wait a half an hour to an hour for the phones. And again, I'm sorry. We're getting 3,000 to 4,000 phone calls a day and 20,000 requests for care a month. And Colorado, by the way, anybody out there who wants to work for me, we need 3 medical assistants, we need 3 nurses, and we need 3 front office front desk folks. So Colorado Springs, great benefits from CNY. So we need 3 medical assistants, 3 nurses, and 3 front office people. Sorry to advertise, but we're getting desperate. We really need the help. Can I use Ovasitol if I don't have PCOS? Absolutely. It helps with glucose metabolism. I'm 25 and I'm doing a fresh transfer. What are my chances of success? I have 5 fertilized eggs. Coco, you're 25, fresh, transfer probably around 30%. What is the actual difference in HCG wash and boosters? Well, very different mechanism. An HCG wash, Amber, is to prime the receptors in the uterus. The HCG boosters is more systemic to help the whole system prepare. I am excited to see you too, Caitlin. I'm an MA. Hey, man, you live in town. Come on. Colorado Springs is beautiful. Well, move, Jessica. We would love to have you down here. Just move. Bring your whole family. RN, I love Nefertiti. Come on, man. It's a good place to move the families, everybody. So maybe this is the way I have to advertise. Is free treatment a benefit for working at CNY? Actually, yes. Ada, 45-year-old partner is 46, okay? Would like to do IVF with my own eggs. I have controlled hypothyroid. Well, yeah, it's just a blood test, and I don't know the prices, so I apologize. What is the next step after a chemical pregnancy and a new cycle? Chemical pregnancies are things started, but, they didn't continue. There's nothing. Well, move to Monument. It's in the middle, Jessica. I'm debating on doing boosters. My wash is tomorrow. I don't want to add so much. No, don't worry about it. Just do the HCG wash. Okay, do the HCG wash. Someone who has Graves' disease, can that be an issue? Yes, if it's uncontrolled, Clarissa, absolutely. You want to have it controlled. But so that's the key is the control. I'm now thinking about moving. Everybody, 3 MAs, 3 nurses. And by the way, I want a reproductive endocrinologist, another doctor. So give me everybody you got, your brother, your uncle, your cousin. Tell them it's a great place to work. I'm 38, was supposed to do a fresh transfer, but the doctor said my lining was too thin. This is mercy. Now I'm going to do a frozen transfer with 2 embryos. Should I transfer the 2? I did my retrieval at Colorado Springs. So I'm guessing these are untested, Mercy, and typically if they're untested, you can twist our arms to do 2. What is the difference between tubal ligation reversal and IVF? Well, Brittany, great question. Tubal reversal. Here's the kernel of it. When you look at tubal reversals, the research kind of says 75% chance you're going to be successful, but they don't tell you that takes 2 to 3 years. Whereas IVF, when we say you're successful, we're talking about per month. So tubal ligation reversal, if you're in your 30s, has about an 8% chance per month, and IVF is 30. In your 40s, a tubal ligation reversal has probably less than a 1% chance, and you have probably a 15 or 20% chance with basic IVF. So that's the difference. So, if it's a long discussion, and maybe I'll do it sometime. Okay, so after day 5 chest transfer, are you considered pregnant? No. Thank you, whoever answered that. No. We have to get implantation. So here's the cool thing. It takes about 48 hours for a day 3. No, it takes about 72 to 96 hours for a day 3 transfer to stick, and it takes about 24 to 40 hours for a day 5 transfer to stick. So that's why we tell you, by the way, everybody, if you're going to get a transfer in Colorado, we want you to rest the day that you get the transfer and the next day. Do not expect to get on a plane that night. That is not the right thing. Same thing with retrievals. If you're coming to Colorado and you're getting a retrieval, we expect you to rest that night and the next night in case something untoward happens. You don't want to leave town after having a major procedure. And we're finding folks like, they're all kinds of nervous. Well, I have 3 hours and I've got to get back. Well, that's just impossible. That's just impossible. So, and it's not good for the stress. So if you're going to do a transfer, rest that day, rest the next day, then go home maybe the next late afternoon or the day after that. If you're doing a retrieval, rest that day, rest the next day, and the day after that, head home. So if any complications happen, we can be there for you. Okay. I've had a tubal reversal. I know it's okay. You guys are talking to each other. I'm a maternity nurse. Ada, come on down, girl. This is a great opportunity to work in Colorado. Get in touch with us. We that's great. Oh no, we especially people who've had the experience with dealing with infertility. They're just wonderful nurses, front desks, MAs, docs, everybody. It's just fantastic. Okay, if someone has endometriosis and their tubes are not blocked, does IVF actually help improve their chances of conceiving? Actually, Blue Lopez, that's exactly what's been shown. Does CNY have remote positions? That's not my area, sorry. I've only had 1 sperm sample. It is possible for me to freeze my eggs. If I want to do a retrieval back-to-back to have more, no. Just ask us to split the sperm sample into smaller samples, okay? That's what you want to do. How long does wash stay in system? Is there a way to detect pregnancy with doing boosters before beta? Yeah, you can get an abnormal, you can get a false positive. Do not do that because you get really bummed out if you're doing the HCG boosters and then it looks like you're pregnant. So don't do that. Wait the prescribed period of time, continue with your medications, continue with your acupuncture. That's what you want to do, okay? That's what you want to do. So some guys, next week, would you recommend staying in town, Nathalie, between retrieval and fresh transfer? Absolutely. Okay, boosters. I don't have a lot of thoughts on the boosters. I remember way back 30 years ago, but we didn't understand progesterone. We used the HCG boosters a lot because we just didn't understand. Because the purpose of the HCG boosters systemically is it acts to make progesterone better from the ovaries, right? That's what it does. But remember, with today's technology, with injectable progesterone, vaginal progesterone, yeah, the HCG booster mechanism is not so important. Is frozen egg transfer have more chance of a successful pregnancy? Not necessarily. Can a PCOS patient's TIALA do a fresh transfer as long as your estrogen isn't above 3,000 or 2,500 and your progesterone is below 1.5 and you're not hyperstimming? Okay, so as I was saying, next week I'll probably talk the other half of my supplement talk, but the supplement talk is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, which is good because I'm learning natural ways for us to supplement. Brown, Michaela, yes, we have places to stay. We have really good discounts on really nice hotels. So make sure when you're coming into town, folks, talk about the mining exchange, the Antlers. We have a wonderful place, Hotel Elegante. Yes. You mentioned an average of 3 times to try egg retrievals. Do you recommend 3 times also on average if you are in your 40s? Yeah, it's good. Well, I do one at a time, Yvonne. You do the one, and then and then plan a second, and then if you don't need it, fantastic, fantastic. Do I need to have experience for the front desk job, Yazi? You know what? You just have to be the right person. Everything's done now with electronic medical records, so you got to be comfortable with computers and comfortable with people. Anyway, I'm going to be thinking about next week in terms of a topic. As I mentioned, as of May 1st, we're going to start doing our transfers in transfer rooms so we can have the husbands join us. By May 3rd, Dr. Fink is joining us, which is fantastic. Shout out to him. It's a great doc. Amy Jenkins is fantastic. She's our nurse practitioner. Don't be afraid to talk to her. We have such amazing docs. Dr. Banerjee comes out for a couple of weeks at a time, so he's helping us. So we're really so proud of how our association with CNY has allowed us to see and treat so many people. I'm very eternally grateful to my good friend, Dr. Kiltz, his amazing global travel team led by Donna, Meg, who's amazing, Justine's amazing, Chris is amazing. You know, too many people. Even our financial folks are amazing, led by Alan. You know, just some great people out there. And so from my standpoint, we're continuing to grow. The more staff we have, then the more patients we can see, because really that's the only thing that's limiting us. Our facility can handle 10,000 cycles, you know, so right now we're pegging at almost 2,000. So it's all good. I do strongly recommend everyone who can get the COVID vaccine, please get the COVID vaccine and please continue to wear your masks. Please continue to follow the protocols for sterility. It's really important. Anyway, thank you for sharing your wonderful evening with me. I can tell you I was a little tired starting, but you guys invigorated me with your questions. I really appreciate them. We're growing, we're enjoying our lives. I hope you are too. Remember, a healthy body is a fertile body. Download our family building guide. Do acupuncture if you can. Take your supplements. And really, thank you. Thank you for joining me this evening. And kisses to everybody. And I'll see you next week. Take care of yourselves and each other, because I think that's incredibly important. Keep yourself well hydrated, and please, my pleasure, Christy. Please remember, we really like you to rest the day you arrive and the day after for the transfer, and certainly for the retrieval, rest the day you arrive. and the day after, because you deserve it. You've earned it. It's important. Your body has to heal. It's a big deal. So good luck. Everybody say hi. And if you saw me on live, tell me, because you'll tell me your name. I think that'll be great. So thanks, everybody. I wish you all well. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you.